welcome to CMJ Live. How you guys doing? I know it's kind of raining outside, but I'm glad you can tune in and have a great time. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. And dry, too.
Welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Bobby Umar. I'm a professional speaker, but I also run DYPB, Discovery Personal Brand, which is Canada's largest conference for personal branding.
Right, and that's where we actually found you. I actually found one of your speakers.
Yeah.
And then he introduced me to you because I was looking at the event.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is going to be a crazy event.
Yeah, you know, we've been doing it for, this is our 5th year now. The first year was just kind of like just a panel event, but then we were like, wow, 120 people showed up on a hot August night.
Yeah.
With no air conditioning, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And so we decided to make it one day, full day, and that went really well. 300 plus people showed up. I was like, okay, you know what, this is, like, people feel lost, people feel stuck, people need more focus and clarity in their business and their career paths. We're like, you know, this is really great. And now last year was our best year with 300 plus people and mostly small business entrepreneurs and medium enterprises and just corporate people that want to, like, you know, make a difference in their lives and try to get to the next level.
Right.
And it was amazing. And thankfully it's all part of the team. And we connected because Alexander Michael, sorry, he's on our team, and he's a great teammate, and we're doing some really amazing stuff. So I'm super excited. Yeah.
All right, so let's backtrack before we get into the show.
Okay.
Let's learn a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
Because along with this is your brainchild.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you're also a speaker as well. Tell us, where's your background from?
Sure. So I was what I'll call a lost leader. So I spent my whole life, you know, trying to find what I want to do with my life. So I was an engineer, then I was in brand marketing. I did performing arts. I was teaching, and after 4 careers, I was like, you know what, this is not working out. I need to figure out what I need to do. And so I dove into my personal brand, my skills, interests, traits, values, and then I was like, you know what, let me be a professional speaker. And so I launched, I became a speaker 10 years ago, actually, this year.
Okay, congratulations.
And thank you. And I started focusing on leadership skills, soft skills. My main thing was networking, building relationships, connection, things, authentic connection. Right. And then eventually, I remember one year in 2008, I started talking about personal branding and how it's your promise to everyone you talk to.
Right.
So I was like, you know, and that took off, and personal branding became another thing I talked about. And then when I launched my social media platform in 2011, after my first TEDx talk, I was like, you know what, social media is pretty big too. And now that I have 450,000 followers, you know, like I've built that up too. So those are 3 main areas I talk about. And aside from that, like, you know, you have to write a book, and you have to have programs. So I have like a coaching program for speakers and a coaching program for networking, and I wrote a book on networking. And the other thing was, they said you have to do an event. I'm like, oh, okay. And I did all these really crappy little events, you know, like you spend like 100 hours and then 12 people show up and they paid $30. It's like, what is the point of this? And
you do all that work, you build it all up, and then all of a sudden that's it.
Yeah, but then you got to do it, right? You got to give them your best show, right? You got to the best show possible. And so we're like, why don't we collaborate with a bunch of other speakers and a bunch of other organizations? Let's make a big event.
Yeah.
And that's where DYPB came from. And, you know, personal branding is something that everyone should care about, because if you're not managing your reputation, everyone else is.
Okay, so you call it DYP?
Yeah, Discover Your Personal Brand. DYPB.ca. That's what it is.
Okay, give it to them one more time.
Yeah, it's DYPB.ca. Discover Your Personal Brand. That's what it's about.
Okay, DYPB.
Yeah.
.ca.
Yeah.
All right, make sure you go check that out right now. You know, everybody's jumping on right now trying to find out a little bit about it.
Exactly.
So then, okay, so you did, I heard little things. You said you did TEDx talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You did different things. How was TEDx talk? We've had someone else in here, and they did it.
Yeah.
Was it your explain how your first TEDx, how did that feel?
Sure. You know, it's interesting because, like, so TEDx, when I was first approached, I was like, what is TEDx? I have no idea. Okay. And I looked at it, I was like, wow, every single speaker that I admire has done it.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, you know, I should probably do this. And I'll say, like, as a professional speaker for 10 years, I'm pretty comfortable speaking, and that's fine. And I always get a little bit nervous because I think it shows that I care.
You have
but
to.
For the TEDx, I was super nervous.
Okay.
And I almost never rehearse.
Yeah.
And for that talk, because I knew it'd be a great marketing tool, a great brand.
Yeah.
I rehearsed 30 times for that thing.
Okay.
And even when every time I did it, I would screw up something, right? And so when I finally did it, and I've done 4 TEDx talks at this point. Which has been great. Yeah. You know, it's been a great experience. But that first one, I was super nervous, and I rehearsed like crazy. And when I was on stage, actually, there was a point where I saw there's this giant clock in front of you, right, which is very intimidating, and it starts to flash, right, when you're wearing a tie. Get off.
Get off.
But I remember remember at a certain point I was like, wow, 6 minutes left, and I'm not even halfway through because I had 14 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out. And I was like, oh my God, I got to keep doing this. And what was funny was when I look at the video, you can't see me freaking out.
No.
It was all in my head. I was just doing it, getting it done, right?
Yeah.
But I remember on stage, I was freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, I have to finish this thing in 6 minutes.
How many people were in the audience?
There was about maybe 200, 300 people in the audience.
Yeah, but it's not the people. It's
No,
that
the clock. The clock's flashing because I went over by because I had 14 minutes and then the clock flashed at you and I went over about a minute and a half.
Okay.
But yeah, it was nerve wracking. But once it was done and the video was amazing, I'm like, this is fantastic.
So then, how did 2, 3, and 4 go?
Well, part of it comes with personal branding. Like when you put together a really kick-ass thought leadership profile for yourself, and people see you on LinkedIn and Facebook and your website, and they're like, "Wow, he talks about great stuff," and I like when people will approach you. So for me, as a master networker, as well as a strong personal brand, the other TEDx talks came from people approaching me. It's not like I said, "Hey, I want to go there." They approached me, and I've even been approached a few other times, and those ones I've rejected for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
It's important to know which ones to reject and which ones to go for.
Okay.
And because I would argue that one of them wasn't really a good choice. I just did it, but I'm not gonna say which one.
Yeah.
But some of them have been really great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say each one, because it travels, right?
Well, they have different locations,
Right.
right? So the first one was at the Western. I did another one at U of T. There was one in Laurier. And so different places.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then here's a question.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know: are you a Bramptonian?
Am I a Bramptonian?
Yeah.
I am not a Bramptonian.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but you know what? I love the brown food, and I come here for some good brown food
There
with my
you go.
family all the time.
So where are you
Is that
from?
good enough?
We're gonna suck you into Brampton. I'm recruiting all the speakers into Brampton.
Because as my friends say, Brampton. That's what they say, right? Come to Brampton. I'm like, okay, sure.
So where's your background then?
So, I mean, I actually grew up in New Brunswick on the East Coast. My
Okay.
whole life, I was born there.
Right.
I was the first of my generation in my culture, my family born there. And I've been in Toronto for a long time. We used to live, my family lives in the York region, so I stayed with them when I first moved here.
Right.
But I live actually right downtown by the Eaton Center.
Okay. So
Yeah, right
okay.
downtown Toronto.
And then your cultural background?
It's Pakistani.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then food, entertainment, how was it different from that culture to come to be TEDx? Because I know the cultures are different when we go on stage, right? For me, as a Caribbean, like getting through everything.
Yeah.
I can't. Growing up, I don't tell my mom, I'm not gonna get this. I'm gonna become a speaker. You know what I mean? It's not something that they say doctor, lawyer, this,
Doctor,
that.
lawyer, engineer. I mean, in my first TEDx talk, that's exactly what I said. As a lost leader, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Like, we all feel lost, stuck, or unfulfilled in our lives.
Right.
And so I was following those things because my dad said, do engineering, you know.
Right.
And then my cousins say, oh, do an MBA, and go. And then I went to brand marketing. So that culture is different. And when I decided to become a speaker, it was challenging. I think my parents were kind of supportive. I mean, my dad is an entrepreneur, so he at least supported the start your own business.
So that part he loved.
Part he loved. But then he's like, you're speaking, and okay. And my mom for years didn't know what exactly I did, right? And she would actually email me stuff. Oh, Bobby should do this. I'm like, no, Mom, that's not what I do. Okay. I think one time
Mom's always trying to make sure you're okay and push it.
Yeah,
towards you.
I don't host bachelorette parties. No, don't send me that stuff. Okay. so she sent me this stuff. I was like, doesn't fit. So yeah, I mean, it was hard at first, but part of it too, and also becoming a good speaker. I mean, part of it's also knowing your audience.
Yes,
so every single audience I speak to has a different need, has a different pain point.
Okay.
And I'm trying to understand their pain point, and I'm trying to show them what the bliss point is for whatever they're doing.
Okay.
So whether I'm talking to engineers or Caribbeans or talking to brown people, it doesn't matter. I have to understand who they are and speak to them.
Feed the need, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
How did you come up with your first talk then? Because for me, as a 4-time TEDx. 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Like, this is my 10-year anniversary for my company.
Happy
as well.
anniversary. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And I know the struggles we went through to get to this point. What was the struggles?
The struggles for the business or the TED Talk? Because those two different things.
The business first.
Okay, so the business, I mean, the problem is most of us don't take the time to invest the time and energy to understand who we are, what drives us, what our values are, what aligns with what we're doing.
Right.
And if you just do that, and it takes work. No one's saying it's going to take a few seconds.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, if you can find something that aligns with your purpose and brings meaning and passion to you,
right,
you're going to be happy the rest of your life. So is 100 hours of your time worth 450,000 hours of lifetime fulfillment, which is 50 years?
Okay.
If it is, then freaking invest in your personal brand.
Right.
And similarly, when I had the first TEDx talk, they said, Bobby, what is your biggest idea of your life? What are you all about? And I had to think about what that was. I'm like, what is my number one thing that I'm all about known for? So I actually asked my friends on Facebook, and hey, you know what am I all about? And the number one thing I came across, connection, right? Bobby is like the connector.
Okay.
And so that's my first talk, is about the 5 C's of connection. And I just talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to go get a quick break. We're going to be right back. You're watching CMJ Live. We'll be right back.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Hey, welcome back to CMJ Live. Please reintroduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bobby Umar. I'm a motivational speaker and business coach, but I also am the founder of DYPB, Discover Your Personal Brand.
Okay, and before we went to break, you did 4 TEDx talks.
Yeah.
Today is your 10-year. This is your 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
But then I asked you what was your talk, and you said your friend said you're the connector.
Yeah.
And you said you said about the 5 connections. Right?
The 5 C's of connections is what I put together for my first TEDx talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I always pick everybody's brain.
Okay.
So I'm picking your brain right now,
man.
because I know a lot of our listeners out there, they're always taking notes. I get emails back saying that your guests are awesome because they're always giving us ideas to help us grow our business. So I'm going to take 3 out of the 5 connections and let them go to YouTube and watch the rest of your TED Talk.
Sure,
okay?
sure.
So give us 3 of the connectors.
Well, I mean, the first thing is really about caring. So, like, finding a way to authentically and genuinely care about the things that matter to you. And a lot of us don't really think about those things. You know, you walk by someone homeless, and do you think about it?
Okay.
You see a commercial on television with, hungry children. Do you think about it?
Right.
You see people who are sick that are old and young. Do you think about it? How do we know what we really, really care about?
Right.
And so it's just a genuine understanding about what are the things that you really, really care about. So for me, like, I care about kids issues because I have little kids.
Oh, okay.
I care about diabetes because I'm diabetic. I care, and my mom is too. So, like, I care about that issue as an issue. So, like, knowing and understanding and being aware of what you authentically and genuinely care about, whether it's a cause, an idea, a person, a belief, whatever that might be.
Right.
The first step to connection is understanding what you care about.
Okay.
So that's the first one.
So caring.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2.
Then the second thing is really about communication. So whatever you do care about, do you communicate about it? Because a lot of people talk about their passions, but passion is something that either you talk about or you act on. If you don't talk, like if you say my passion is photography, but you never talk about it nor act on it, then it's not really a passion. It's a passing interest, a hobby. So what do you talk about? So you have to communicate. So communication is key to connection. So if I want to communicate someone authentically, but also about something I care about, I will talk very passionately about it. I will talk proactively about it. You could also argue I would talk assertively about it,
right?
Because it's important to me. So, like, I'm big on politics too. So I'll talk about politics. I'm very much against. I'm an anti-bullying advocate. So like, I want to fight bullying and make sure that it's something that we deal with, particularly with all my social media stuff that I do. I get a lot of that.
Okay.
So I fight that. I'm very passionate about, but I communicate. And I communicate very forcefully. I communicate very passionately. But I'm also willing to communicate vulnerably. Like, I'm willing to talk about the dark days. I'm willing to talk about fears. I want to talk about the things that challenge me.
Right.
You know, just this morning on Instagram, I post about my health, my weight. Like I post, I'm doing this weight loss challenge.
Okay.
And I post a picture of myself.
Yeah.
And I said, honestly, I'm posting this, but you know what? I feel like crap. Like I don't like my
Yes,
picture.
yeah.
I don't like this picture.
Right.
And I'm saying it because I want to get better, and I'm trying to do as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can actually communicate in that vulnerable, authentic way,
Right.
you start to develop a tribe. Like people start to follow you. They like what you're talking about. So
Right.
to me, the second C is really about communicating really, really effectively.
Okay, and number 3.
So I'll throw in a third one, which is if you want to create powerful connection, it's all about community.
Oh, okay.
So when you talk about the things you're passionate about, so whether it's politics or fitness or culture, whatever it might be, you start to build a tribe or a community of people that are aligned with you. So for example, with my fitness thing that I do, there are people who are part of my Facebook Fit in My Life group where we talk about how to get fit in my life and how to fit more things in our lives.
Right.
Similarly, when I talk about personal branding, there's a DYPB Facebook group and we talk about personal branding and feeling lost, stuck, and finding focus and clarity. So when you have that community, that again is a really powerful connection to create change.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got caring, communication, and community.
Yeah, there's 3 right there.
All right. So tell them your website if they want to go see the rest, and give them your personal website.
Sure. My personal website is www.rayallen.com. And then, of course, dypb.ca is for the conference. And, of course, you can check me out on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. I'm everywhere. Just Google me. You'll find me.
There you go. Okay. So I know a lot of people are writing that down right now, and we're getting a lot of messages on Instagram.
Sweet.
So I will read those for you guys. Don't forget, I am checking you guys out. So, you can catch us. Hit us up. We're also on Facebook, so if you have any questions, send it off to us right now. He is here. But we're going to get into the main show, okay?
Yeah.
dypb.ca.
Yeah.
All right? What is that all about?
So basically, Discover Your Personal Brand is really for 2 things. One is for people who feel lost, stuck, or unfulfilled in their career, in their business, in their entrepreneurship, in their life, is the first thing. The second thing is for people who want to find more focus, more clarity, more differentiation. They want to ramp up their brand, ramp up their business. I mean, the target for the conference is small business owners for the most part, but we also do stuff pre and post that are targeted everybody. So we might target real estate agents, students, women, young, old people, whatever it might be. And so the idea is to help people find more clarity and differentiation around their brand, and then help them take their business or their life to the next level.
Okay.
And so the conference itself is broken into 3 main types of things. There's keynotes from really inspirational speakers. So, for example, Vicky Saunders from SheEO, she runs an entrepreneur activation organization that funds female entrepreneurs.
Okay.
She'll be doing a keynote. Saul Colt is one of the greatest affiliate marketers in the world, and he's a marketing genius. He'll be there speaking as well. And we're going to be announcing a few more big ones pretty soon, but I can't talk about them. But I'm excited about them.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the people reading for our All-Star Personal Brand panel is Nav, the super fan from Raptors.
Oh, okay, yes.
So he's awesome. So I'm really excited about that one.
Him alone, I'll just come watch for him.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
So-
him
so-
with the towel. There you go.
Yeah. So he's going to be, we have a panel called the All-Star Personal Brand. So he's one of our All-Star brands going to show up.
Okay.
That's going to be awesome.
Right.
Then we have workshops. So there's going to be workshops to help entrepreneurs and business leaders. So there's one on podcasting, messaging, video marketing, sales funnels, content marketing. There's one on podcasts. There's one on how to LinkedIn, how to optimize LinkedIn. There's just so much great content. And then we have panels, and the panels are for all these amazing people to offer insights. So there's a panel on PR and media. There's a panel on targeting your tribe, like whether you're targeting women or targeting LGBTQ or you're targeting millennials. There's going to be an expert on each of the panels there. We're doing a pitching event, so people can actually, through OPN, they can actually pitch to this funding pitch competition, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of stuff there to help entrepreneurs as well as startups. So the content's going to be phenomenal. There's a panel on tech and innovation for brands. There's a panel on social media, how to use social media. There's a panel on just for startups. So all the content there over the 2 days is really meant to give you the tools, the insights, and the inspiration to either take your business to the next level or to take your career to the next level. But really, it's going to be an amazing time. So I'm really excited about it.
So
August 11th and 12th.
that's where I was getting
at the Telus House, 25 York Street, right downtown near Union Station.
So August 11 and 12.
That's right. Friday night and Saturday all day.
Okay, and then how much is tickets?
Tickets are $160 for the general public. They are, I believe, $110 for students. Although if you can use my code, I have a discount code BobbyUmar20, get you 20% off. And we're also going to be launching a group discount code, which will get you a little bit even more off if you buy 4 or more tickets.
Okay, so let me just break this down now because I was writing fast as I could.
Yeah.
This seems like it's a jam-packed event.
You
so,
leave wanting more.
Okay, so you got Focus, you got Next Level, you got workshops, and in the workshops you're doing podcasts, video, LinkedIn, do your brand, right?
Yeah,
you got panel discussion on how to do the pitch.
Yeah.
So it's basically showing somebody how do you get that sponsor, how do you get that client, how do you pitch your idea and pitch it properly, and what are you saying too much or not enough of, right? We also got a panel for tech. So, getting your business to the next level.
Yep.
We got some tech in there. We got a panel for social media.
Yep.
Okay? And then it's all happening August 11 and 12. And tickets are $160. And if you're a student, it's $110. But if you got your code,
20% off.
20% off. Did I miss anything?
No, I mean, again, like we didn't cover all the panels. Go to the website. You'll see we have literally, there's actually 10 workshops and 8 panels and 6 keynotes. Like there's a lot. So, but yeah, definitely check it out. And I hope it helps a lot of people. And if you have any questions, you can always also ask me.
And what I love about this is your 5th year.
Yeah.
So how do you've seen it grown, you've seen it evolve, right?
It's evolved.
And then this part here is, has people come back to you? Like some of your old thing, and what's that feel like?
It's amazing whether I coach people or whether I speak. They come in when I run the event. They say, I came to your event. So one woman came to my event, and the first one, just the panel thing.
Yeah.
I came to the first one in 2013, and I remember sitting there, and it was so freaking hot, and I was dying, but I took tons of notes.
Yeah.
And it's changed my life. And I go every year, and now my business has taken off, and I'm feeling really good about it. And thank you so much. So that stuff is part of why me and my team, we're all volunteering our time to give back to make this thing huge, right? So we, it's very fulfilling. It's motivation. It's fuel. It gets me going. That's why I spend so much time on this.
Okay.
To do it because I think it's a great event and we really impact a lot of lives.
Right. So you say your team. Shout out your team.
Yeah, the team is amazing. So I have there's a Sonder of a team, our chairs and our co-chairs. There's Alexander Michael is one of our strategy advisors. We have. Daniel, Director of Marketing. We got Joanna, Events Director. Jeremy, our Director of Programming. Our Director of, let's see, there's Sponsorship Partnerships. There's Ahan and Sajid, and then all the sub-teams. And, there's a lot of people working on this. Oh, Idthi, our Director of Operations.
So that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, when you said your team, I'm thinking, okay, maybe 4 or 5. This is a big.
Well, the leadership team is about 8 of us.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of supporters. Then we have sub-teams in each group. And then there's all the volunteers that show up. It's just an amazing thing.
So on an average, how many people show up?
Well, the last 3 years has been 300 plus.
Wow,
each day.
That's great.
This year the capacity has gone up to 350, so we're targeting let's do 350.
Yeah,
so hope we can do it. Yeah.
Okay, so listen, get your tickets because this does not seem like it's gonna last long. All this jam packed. August 11 and 12. And what time does it start on Friday?
Friday registration 5, but the event starts at 6. And then same with Saturday, registration at 8 o'clock, but then 9 o'clock we'll start things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure you get your tickets.
Yeah.
And you can get it from the website, and that's dypb.ca.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
We're going to take one more break and be right back. You're watching CMJ Live. We'll be right back.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Hey guys, we've been just talking and having a great time. There's a phenomenal show. You need to go to the website, dypb.ca. And it's a panel, it's a learning.
Yeah.
So this is great.
Yeah, it's all leadership development, panels, speakers, and keynotes. It's gonna be amazing.
Okay.
Workshops.
Now you said something before the break, and you said about the woman, and it depends if you do one-on-one, but you do coaching.
Yes.
Talk about the coaching.
Sure. I mean, as a speaker, I get out there and I share my message on, personal branding and networking, building relationships, and I talk about social media and, leveraging, how I got 400,000 followers and things like that. But ultimately, people also want the one-on-one attention or group coaching. So I started doing executive coaching, business coaching about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Typically, there's people either want to transition from job A to job B, or job or career A to career B, or job career to completely entrepreneurship.
Yes.
That's the one transition. The second thing is, helping people take their business and have more focus, accountability, and ramp it up. And then other times people want something very specific, like how do I get a TEDx talk? How do I speak better? How do I do this?
Right.
And I launched a program, coaching program for networking mastery.
Okay.
I just launched another one just 2 days ago. It's basically how to become a paid speaker. So as someone who's been speaking for 10 years, everybody wants to know, how do I get more speaking gigs? How do I get paid to do it? So I just launched a beta program. It's a complete beta program, so it's going to be way cheaper for a lot of people if they were interested. They can check it out on my Facebook page. But it's really helping people become better speakers, and I'm going to cover it over 4 weeks of group coaching for 10 people. So that's the type of work I do, and it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. It's more fulfilling in the sense that you really dive deep into people's stories and understand them, and you really become really close. And I love that. It's a very powerful. I mean, it's different than being on stage. I get a thrill of being on the stage in front of 500 people.
Yeah.
But I also get a thrill investing people's stories and hearing them share their challenges. And helping them with their challenges.
So then here's a question, because I always ask, seeing someone like you that's very successful. Okay. We get a lot of young teens. We do workshops for young teens, and they see you and they think, "Oh yeah, they can do it," but they don't realize the struggles and that you went through.
Yes.
So can you tell us some of the struggles that you went through and what you've learned?
Yeah. So I will tell you right now, like, the number one struggle I had as an entrepreneur is knowing my value.
Okay.
Right? What's my value? What do I bring to the table? What do I price myself? Like, someone asks you, Bobby, how much you charge for coaching? I don't know. How much you charge for speaking? I don't know. Right? Like, hey, $500? Like for the first speech, right?
I'm laughing because we talked about that. Every show?
Yeah.
Chelsea? I'm looking at Chelsea in the back there because we say this every show. Every speaker that comes in, we talk about.
Yeah.
It's knowing your brand, knowing your value.
Yeah.
So what are you worth? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't know what you're worth, how can you give it to somebody
else? Well, the moment
else?
you know your value, everyone will know your value. But you have to understand what that is. So I think I struggle with that as an entrepreneur. I asked my mentor speaker, and what do you think? He's like, how much do you get out of bed for and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, he said, you'll know. There's a point where, in the beginning I was doing stuff for free and charging a certain number, but then that number got higher and the lower end also got higher.
Right.
So now there's a point where I don't get out of bed for such and such amount, that type of thing. So I know that now, but knowing that in the beginning would have helped. The second thing was focus. Like, I was distracted. There was social media distracting me. There was the sofa over there, very comfortable. The television, right, distracting me. I remember one time I woke up and all of a sudden I was like, wow, I watched Star Trek for 4 hours. What the hell is wrong with me? What kind of entrepreneur am I? I'm supposed to be hustling.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm getting distracted. Oh, Oprah. Ooh, what's on? And I was just like, it's terrible. And the whole day would go by and you feel like crap. And you're like, oh, man.
So that wasn't research.
No, it was like,
you weren't getting the force.
Didn't have the focus, didn't have the accountability. So, if I could go back, honestly, getting a coach would have helped. Like, I didn't have that accountability. I didn't have the focus. And I was spending and didn't have the value. So, I wish now, like, my first business coach I got was 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I wish I'd done it way sooner because things have been way better than they were in the first 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So, you really want to get a mentor, get an advisory board, get a business coach. It's a great investment. I mean, you put down $5,000 and all of a sudden within 6 months to a year, you're rocking and it pays for itself. So I totally recommend it. Yeah.
So that goes back to, again, everybody, we're talking about mentor.
Yeah,
and, this is a 4-time TEDx Talk speaker right here saying it again. Mentorship, following somebody, get a teacher,
Yeah.
and know your value.
Yeah,
All right?
absolutely.
So how much research do you do when you're gonna jump into something?
Like what you mean, like a project?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, I'm when I want, like, I have to evolve. Like as a speaker, as a coach, as a thought leader, I have to evolve. So, for example, networking. I was a big networker, and I talked about that, and that was the first few speeches. But then social media came along. So now I have to start researching that.
Yeah.
So like I had to learn about Instagram. What is this? How does this work? How do I? Is it a networking tool? I don't know.
Yeah.
I got on and then I remember Snapchat. Like young people use Snapchat, so I put Snapchat on my phone, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Right.
But because I have to learn it, because I gotta, first off, if I'm a social media expert and I'm a networking expert, I better learn how to talk
All
about
these
this
new
stuff.
things. Right.
So I do a lot of research particularly when it comes to new tools for networking, personal branding, and social media. I have to be on top of it. And so typically I like to interview people. I find I learn the best. We learn in three ways.
Right.
We learn by reading stuff, articles, books.
Right.
We learn by actually doing it, so experiential. And we learn by actually talking to people. So I'm a learn by talking and learn by doing. I'm not a learn by reading books.
Right.
So I'll read articles and I'll watch videos and I'll talk to people. But I find that's how I learn and do the research.
Right.
Yeah.
YouTube's our best
YouTube's
friend.
great. Yeah, videos are great.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm interested in that speaking engagement that you're putting out. So talk a little bit more about that. So if we want to jump on or learn to speak like you, where can we find it? You said it's in beta?
So I basically, I've been working on this for 3 months, and I got a bunch of people to give me feedback on how to structure it. So it's set up as a 4-week program. The first week is all about deciding what kind of speaker you want to be, what are your topics, who's your audience, what's your brand, what's your story, like putting together a really great speaker profile for yourself, having 3 main topics and things like that. The second week is all about, okay, now how do I pitch this thing? How do I put together a speaker shell sheet? I'm putting together email templates. What do I say to people? How do I brand myself? How do I price negotiate? All that kind of stuff.
Right.
And the third week is all about, now how to become a master speaker? How do I work on authenticity, vulnerability, connection, PowerPoint, tech? What am I doing to make my speech really, really compelling such that I'm a world-class speaker?
Right.
And the fourth week is really all about negotiation and managing the relationship. You have to manage relationships with your tribe. You got to manage relationships with potential speakers, conferences, because there are a lot of speakers who do a terrible job of that. So I think it's really important for you to be a good speaker. So that's kind of the 4 kind of weeks that I've put together.
Right.
And really it's about, there's 3 types of things so some people want to just learn how to speak better. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Because I think as a networker, I still have to learn to be a better networker. As a speaker, I still can learn to be a better speaker. So one is how to learn to speak better. So I'll share all my stuff from the last 20 years of my life.
Right.
Number 2, how do I get more speaking opportunities? There's lots of different ways you can do it, but I'll help with each individual that signs up. And then number 3, how do I then get paid for some of these speeches, if not all? So those are 3 things that I'm helping people focus on in those 4 weeks. And because it's a beta program, again, it's way cheaper than you would normally see my programs. And you can find it on my Facebook business page. It's called Bob Umar Leadership and Development. That's where I posted all the main details. Or you can just message me, message me on Twitter or LinkedIn, right? And I'll send you the link.
There you go.
But if you go there, you'll see it there. It's actually the pinned post there. You'll see it on my Facebook business page.
Okay, so here's the question then.
Yeah, please.
You talk about branding.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 tool of branding. When I mean number 1 tool, is it the social media? Is it your ads? Is it yourself? What would you say is your number 1 branding? And when I say that by that is like everybody's like, oh, they should just do social media, get it out. But then some people are like, you're always out there, but your face ain't in the public. Yeah. Right? What would you say is some of the key? It doesn't have to be number 1, but what would you say some of the key is?
The number 1 thing is yourself, right? You're investing in yourself to understand who you are and what people think of you. Right? So you have to understand what your brand is right now. Because there is a brand there's a brand of you already. It exists. It's existed since you were born. If you're the type of guy who's always late, everyone, it's Charles, he's always late. Like, they know that. Right? So they say, you know what, be there by 11:30, even though it's 12. So you know your friends are like that. So everyone has a brand. So knowing your brand first is the first thing you have to figure out. Because if you want to get out there on social media, you want to get out there and brand yourself, how can you do it if you don't know where you are? If you want to get over there, how can you have to start from here. So if you want to know the destination before you start going there.
Right.
That applies to everything. It applies, if I want to lose weight, what's my target? If I want to build more business, what's my target? If I want to build a brand, what's my target? So you have to begin with the end in mind and then work towards getting there.
Got you. Okay.
So for me, everything starts with self-assessment. getting feedback from others, doing some analysis. I do like personality assessments, everything I do to analyze myself. And then once I do that, then I can try to converge on what my brand elements are.
Okay, so first one is self. Make sure you know
Absolutely
who you are, what you're putting out there, and what direction you want to go.
Exactly.
Because I know a lot of people, they're a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and they're not focused on the one main thing.
Yeah, because if you can't be everything for everybody.
Right.
And if you do, you're gonna attract 5 people here, 6 people here, 10 people here. But when you're focused, you can attract 1,000 people that want, or even 100. All you need is 100 people that love you.
Right.
And they want to pay for your services. That's all you need
Right.
to really be successful with your business. But you create amazing content that's aligned with who they are, and it resonates with them on a very fundamental level. And that's how you start to build your tribe. So as long as you know your purpose, like for me, my purpose is very clear. I help, I have a why statement, right? So Simon Sinek in his TED Talk said, start with the why.
Right.
So my why is there are lost, stuck, or unfulfilled leaders everywhere.
Okay.
So knowing that, everything I do, from my speaking, my coaching, the events, is completely aligned to those people. And so is my content. So by doing so, I attract those people. I'm not attracting, senior shoe salesmen. I'm not attracting, moms.
Right.
I'm attracting people who are business leaders who are trying to build their brands and feel lost, stuck, or unfulfilled. And so by doing so, now that doesn't mean you don't get other people outside that. Sometimes I get someone who's unfulfilled in their relationship, and I help them with that. Sometimes I get somebody who's feeling stuck in school, and I'll help them with that.
So it's like a mix.
But those are people that come on the outside, but you have to stay focused on your main target.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, something you keep saying, and it resonates with me, because everybody thinks, you said you have 100 people that love you.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Right? So then why does everybody want these millions and millions and followers, and they think they have to get over the 5,000 mark and this and that?
Well, I mean, it's like direct mail. You send a mail to like 1 million people, and 1.2% will respond. So you're trying to build the numbers. So I think that's the reason why people do that. I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm a big believer in networking and building your networks, because what you find is every person is a bridge to someone or something else. You never know that person you connected with at such and such event knows this person, knows that person, and all of a sudden an opportunity comes your way. So that's one thing. The second thing is, the reason why people get more followers on social media is because it does add, it lands. Like having 4 TEDx talks adds to my brand. Having 400,000 Twitter followers adds to my brand.
Right.
Having a verified Twitter following actually really adds to my brand. So that's recent. That happened just this past year.
Okay.
So that's really helped a lot too. So having those followers, as long as they're legitimate, don't buy followers. If you have authentic, real, organic followers, then it definitely adds to your brand. So that's why I think people do it.
Perfect. We'll be right back. We got one more small break, and we're going to come back and just dive more into this. Hope you're enjoying it as much as I do. I got my notes. You have your notes. We'll be right back.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Hey, how you guys doing? And welcome. And we got about 10 minutes left. I want to jam everything in because this is enough, and I can't read my Instagram, but it's just fluttering with people. I'm going to read it after. I promise to you, he'll be here a little bit afterwards. So if you got any questions, put it on Facebook. Chelsea's at the back there. She can, tell us any questions that you have. Chelsea can jump in at any time because there's people answering some questions. My friend.
Yes.
Introduce yourself one more time.
Hi, I'm Bobby Umar. I'm a motivational speaker and business coach, and I'm also the founder of DYPB, Discover Your Personal Brand Conference.
Okay. We covered a lot. And I'm trying to squish it in so people who are just tuning in can get a gist of it, okay? You started off doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yep.
Okay. We talked about how you converted your life from, doing this, doing that to becoming a speaker.
Right.
We talked about this is your 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Right. And we also talked about you're a 4-time 10X speaker.
Yeah.
Okay. We also broke it down that, the event grew from like 120 people sweating in a little room to now you're at 350 people, and it's a 2-day event.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can go to dypb.ca.
Yeah.
Okay, log on. Tickets are $160 if you're a student, you're $110, and if you put Bobby Umar, your link in there, you save 20%.
Yeah, put in Bobby Umar 20, that's 20% off. Yeah.
Okay, and then it happens on Friday. Sign up is at 5 p.m. and Saturday sign up is at 8 p.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yeah, because the whole day.
It's a whole day, and you're going to have a phenomenal time because you're going to be speaking about the next level in business, workshops like podcasts, videos, LinkedIn, panel discussions is PR, media doing the pitch.
Yeah.
You're going to have a panel discussion about tech, a panel discussion about social media.
Yeah.
You're going to do focus network. You have some big stars coming in.
Yeah.
You have some surprise stars coming
Yeah.
in. Did I miss anything?
No, man, you got it all. It's going to be an amazing, amazing day. 300 people. Also amazing people just to network with. I mean, there's 50 speakers.
Right.
So you'll be able to access them. I mean, you could also buy, and if you want to buy a VIP ticket, you get access to all the speakers at their VIP lunch. So
Okay, and how much is it? How much is the VIP ticket?
That's $200.
All right, so I'm writing that down as well.
So again, there's a lot of opportunities to network. There's a lot of really amazing, like the energy's great. I mean, people love being there. Last year, the feedback was so good. 96% said they wanted to come back. I'm like, wow, okay. So like, get your tickets because I think we're gonna sell it, man. I'm really excited about it.
Okay, that's perfect. Then we went to asking you about some key C's,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
This was your first thing. So one was about caring.
Yeah.
You got to care about what you're doing, care about the focus, right?
Yeah.
Then communication.
Yeah.
How do you say it? How do you get it out there?
Yep.
Is it, sometimes like you said, you're talking about your weight. You can be vulnerable, you can communicate, but it's about getting what you want out there so people can follow and know what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay? And the last thing is the community.
Right.
Build the community so everybody can work and everybody can help you out. Because in the community, you might have somebody that says, "Oh, you want to lose weight? Here's an idea that I use. I think it'll be great for you," and sending it back. So it's a community bond.
Yeah, the greatest change comes from community. You can't do it by yourself.
Okay.
You need people. So building community is really great for change.
Okay. And coaching.
Yeah.
You do coaching, but you just put out a new coaching package.
Yeah.
You can go to your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Right? And it's easier to learn how to coach, how to talk to people, and how to get more gigs on speaking.
Right.
All right? The value, the focus on speaking. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think I got it.
All right, you got everything. That's good.
All right. So now let's talk about you and how do you relax.
How do I relax?
Yeah, because here's the funny thing. When I speak to speakers, right, there's a time that they're go, 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 right? So I've always wanted to find out, okay, a person like you, this is a lot, right? How do you refocus yourself? How do you bring yourself back in so you can dive back in and not burn yourself out?
That's a great question. Burnout is something that I have personally experienced. I mean, 2 years ago, actually 3 years ago, after the conference was over in 2015, I'll admit I wanted to quit. And I was like, I don't want this anymore. I was so stressed out. And I kind of burnt out in September of 2015. And for 2 months, I did nothing. I didn't, and I even had things I had to do, like I had a workshop I was going to do, and I just kept delaying it and postponing it, and I just didn't care, and I was just so burnt out, and I realized, you know what, I need to make sure I don't do that, and it happened again. It happened 2 years in a row, and then I was like, this year I got to make sure I take the steps to make sure I don't get burnt out, and this past year, it was good. I was able to navigate it properly. So burnout's something that we all suffer and deal with. It's just a question of knowing what gets you burnt out. I'm a pretty chill guy. Like, I'm pretty chill, but because I do so many things, because I'm also a parent of young kids, and I'm diabetic, trying to get healthy, and I'm doing all this stuff. It starts to overwhelm you. And so it's just a question of being mindful of that and learning to say no, because learning to say no to new opportunities is saying yes to current opportunities. And so you have to manage your time. So now I'm very big on managing my time. Like, so for example, I don't do coffees. If people really want to connect with me, I say, ask me a question on social media. Let's engage, because I'll actually engage on social media. I do this thing called a daily LinkedIn tip, and every morning I do a little tip. And I say, if you want to ask me a question, just ask there and I'll answer it.
Okay.
But I just don't have time for little coffees because I have 8:15 a.m. to 5:30 to hustle as an entrepreneur, as a parent-preneur. And then the kids come home. My phone goes off and it says super daddy mode. And it reminds me of my main purpose, which is I'm a dad.
Right.
And I need to get dinner ready. Yeah. And that's what I got to do.
Take him up from daycare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So for me, like, burnout is something that we all deal with, but it's just a question of knowing, taking the steps, reaching out to your community, a community we can really help support you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, how do you relax?
How do I relax?
Is it read a good book? Are you CDs? Are you a visual guy? Like, do you sit back, put a CD on, and then just?
You know, it's funny. I think I'm pretty unorthodox. I see people who chill to music.
Yeah.
They read books. They do meditation in the morning. I don't do any of that stuff.
No.
I think that some of the best chill moments I have, I love going to a spa. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
But not many guys go. I'll go with all my girlfriends. And we'll
Okay.
just hang out and chill in the steam room, just talk about life and stuff, and why men suck and stuff. And I give them relationship advice. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
Another one is really with the kids. Like every morning. My meditation every morning is I snuggle with my kids for 10 minutes before they wake up.
Right.
I don't say, okay, rush, right? Oh, no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll get up and I'll just lie with them for 5-10 minutes. I say, how are you? Hope you had nice dreams.
Yeah.
I shared this morning with my daughter, I shared what I dreamed about.
Okay.
And I talked about the things I'm hoping to do today.
Yeah.
And that's all I do for 5-10 minutes. And I find that to be very rejuvenating.
Right.
Because
they say the funniest things and their ideas that come out and stuff.
Yeah. Or I just sit there and stare at their beautiful faces.
Yeah.
And they don't have to say anything for 10 minutes. To me, that charges me up.
Okay.
And then I also chill with entertainment. I love movies. I love music. I love musical theater. I love going to shows. I love that type of stuff.
Right.
If I get the chance.
Right.
It's usually kid stuff, right? Like,
Right.
on Saturday I'm going to my kids are performing in Lion King Jr., so I'm going to go see that. And that'll be fun.
Okay.
So that type of stuff. And sometimes going to nature's great. Nature, like going camping,
Just go for a walk or
hiking,
something.
walking, like
Yeah.
going to the beach, like that type of stuff I love.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then here's a question.
Yeah.
Your number one go-to book. So someone's coming out, speaking, or is there a book that you've read that says, okay, you have to get it out there?
Okay.
Which is your book that you keep, or which is your CD that you keep, or?
Okay. So I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. Okay. I said there's three ways we learn, right?
Yeah.
Learn by doing, which I do. Learn by talking to people, which I do. Learn by books, which I don't. I don't read books. I'm be totally honest. I haven't read a single leadership development book. I started reading the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
I got to the 3rd one, and then I stopped. And so someone asked me this, how do you get content? Well, if I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, I don't need his book. If I listen to Scott Stratton, I don't need his book. If I listen to Tony Robbins, I don't need his book. If I listen to these people, Brené Brown, love her, don't need her book. So
Okay.
I'm consuming. But I did say recently in a podcast, the greatest leadership book I can think of that I have read is Harry Potter. And here's why. Harry Potter is all about loyalty, courage, choosing choice versus
Right.
default, choosing right from wrong.
Okay.
Right? Bravery, finding something that aligns with you, your values, friendship. Like, there's just so much stuff in that series of books that is all about leadership and connection and everything. Harry Potter is an amazing leadership book.
Listen, I love it.
Yeah, and you can tell just by watching J.K. Rowling when she tweets and stuff.
Yeah.
She's amazing, and her leadership is embodied in those books.
Yes.
And so if I want to be a leader like her, I would be happy with that.
Oh my goodness! Everybody just Harry Potter's stock just went up.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I love that because I always ask everybody, you say, "Oh no, this book and that book,"
Yeah.
and I'm just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a visual CDs. YouTube is my best friend.
Sure,
I'll go on to everybody's channel and watch their videos,
Yeah.
hours and hours at a time because it sinks in.
Yeah.
I feel like I can see them more on stage and how they're feeling,
Yes.
how their emotion is compared to reading it in a book. I can't jump in there like I want to be there, right?
And we all learn differently, so that's fine. I think it's totally
Right.
fine to do that.
Yeah, I totally love it. Listen, we got 2 minutes before we end the show. You're on CMJ Live.
Yep.
What we love to do is give everybody called the shout out.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your 30 seconds of fame. You just won the awards. Give the shout out and let everybody know.
Just a shout out to my wife, Amanda, and my kids, Niall and Rye, who are amazing. They support me in everything I do. Shout out to my parents, who I love. Shout out to my friends and my teammates. They're all amazing, amazing people. And, shout out to some of those besties out there, like, who know they've spent 4 hours with me at the spa. They've spent 4 hours with me, over a long coffee. Those types of people really make a big difference in my life and really help me serve my purpose.
Right.
And, one thing I'll say as a takeaway is that if you ever get a chance, I did a new video called Fight for Your Life.
Okay.
And it's something I believe in. You have to fight for everything in your life, from your health and the people you care about, the woman you marry, and the career and purpose and path that you want. And if you watch that video, you'll see exactly what I mean. And I hope the people that are out there have really helped me along the way. They're all part of it, and they've all helped me fight for my life.
Fight for your life.
Fight for your life, yeah.
And where can you find that?
It's on my Facebook business page.
All right, Fight for Your Life.
Fight for your life.
And check that out.
If not you, then who? If not now, then when? Right?
Right. And in 50 seconds left.
Yeah.
Why should somebody come to your show?
DYPB, come to the conference if you seek more focus, clarity, differentiation with your brand, your business, your career. You're trying to take yourself to the next level. You want to meet hundreds of amazing people, including 50+ experts on personal branding, and take your leadership to the next level. If you feel lost or stuck or unfulfilled in any part of your business or your leadership path, this is the place to find meaning, purpose, and alignment. So come, dypb.ca, use my discount code BobbyUmar20, save 20% off, and I hope to see you there.
All right, listen, my friend.
Thanks, Charles.
This has been one of my funnest interviews with you.
Yes, all right. Put on the list.
All right, there it is. It's the check mark right there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching CMG Live. Have a great one.